When you start to follow God, there are going to be moments where you want to start going back to your wicked ways. Because when you start to truly follow God and you start to truly get in alignment with His will, there's going to be a lot of things coming at you. A lot of temptations, a lot of trials. There's going to be a lot of things coming at you, and you're going to feel uncomfortable to the point you start to contemplate. It seemed like it was easier when I was living wicked. It seems like it was easier when I was able to do anything I wanted to do. But now that I'm starting to do the right thing and I'm starting to honor God in a greater, deeper way, now things are coming at me. It's almost like when you follow God, you start school. And when you start school, you start to get all these lessons. You start to get all these tests and these quizzes, and it's trying to prepare you for something greater in the future. Graduating, the reward, heaven, kingdom. And then when you live your fleshly life and the wicked life, it's like dropping out of school. You don't get as many lessons. You don't get as many trials as someone who is following the righteous path. Because see, when you are doing the worldly wicked things, why would the enemy try to fight you? No, the war starts when you get into school. When you start to try to live a right life, that's when the war comes. That's when the true battle comes. That's when things keep hitting you. And every time you get up, you feel like it's something else and something else. Just like school, they give you all these lessons and teachings and quizzes because it's trying to help you graduate. It's trying to give you knowledge. And that's what God is trying to do when you start to follow Him. He say, oh, now you want to accept me in your life. Now you want to really get to know me. Now you want to go deeper in me. I'm going to have to give you these lessons. I'm going to have to teach you some things about my ways. I'm going to have to teach you some things about you. So in order for you to learn these things, I got to put you through this. And that's why the righteous seems like it goes through more than the wicked. Because God is trying to teach you things through it. There's lessons. There's a graduation and a promotion. But when you're in the wicked, it's like dropping out of school. You don't receive anything. There's going to be nothing at the end for you but negativity, badness, destruction. But when you finally start to say, you know what, I'm going to live right and I'm going to follow God, that's when all the things start coming down on you. That's when the rejection comes. That's when more rejection comes. That's when the world starts to push you away because now you want to be different. Now you want to do the things of God. So the worldly things are going to start pushing you aside. But guess what? That's when God starts pulling you in, pulling you closer. That's when you get deeper with Him. So don't ever feel like you living right. And you may have to go through a lot more, but don't ever feel like you need to go back to the other side. Don't ever feel like it's easier doing the wicked thing, because it is. It's easier just living life the way you want to live it. It's easier just doing the things that the world is doing. It's easier. But there comes a point in time when it gets a little hard, when you have to say no to your flesh, but your flesh is pulling you in. When you have to say no to certain events because it's pulling you in to a side that you don't want to be. It gets a little difficult when you're low on funds and you have to decide, I got to wait on God. I got to do the right thing. Or should you do the illegal thing and bring money in? That's when it becomes difficult. When you're faced with, oh, should I scam to get ahead? Or should I just wait on God? It's going to take a little longer, but should I just wait on God to get where I need to go? There's going to be a lot of decisions you're going to have to make. When you follow God, you're going to have to let people go that you don't want to let go. There's going to be connections and people that you thought would be in your life forever that God said they're not the ones that's going to come with you in the next season. And I need you to drop them off. That's a hard decision you're going to have to make. There's decisions you're going to have to make when God says separate yourself from your family. Separate yourself from the very people that you loved. It gets a little difficult on this side. So don't think because you're following God that everything is going to be easy. That you're just going to have a perfect life and that you're going to be struggle free. No, if anything, the warfare is going to get more intense. But that's when you lean in more with God. That's when you grab a hold of them a little tighter. There's going to be moments when you're going to have to decide, what should you do to feed your kid? Should you do the right thing and wait on God, or should you do the illegal thing? It gets a little tight. It gets a little tough. But you have to decide, what side are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the right side, or are you going to be on the wrong side? It's your decision. But when you're faced with those difficult moments and those crossroads where you're going to have to make a strong decision, always choose the right way instead of the wrong way. There are going to be moments where you could lie to get ahead, or you could tell the truth and it feels like you're getting held back because you're telling the truth. You feel like you're being punished because you're an honest person. And then you're going to have to make a decision. Do I lie? Or do I be honest and just live right? Do I make a wrong decision and do something that's going to take me further back? Or I do the right thing and just wait on God and stand in being a person with integrity, a person with morals, being a person, a righteous, trying to live right. So you're going to be faced with a lot of moments like that where you're going to have to decide, do you go the right way or do you go the wrong way? And every way that you go is going to lead you to a different place. But there's going to be moments where you're going to have to decide. There's going to be moments when it feels like I'm trying to do right, but now everything is falling down on me. And that's going to be the moments that make a difference when you decide to keep getting up. When you decide to keep picking up your cross, even though you continue to get knocked down. Those are the moments that make the difference. Those are the moments that's going to determine, are you going to stand with God? Or are you going to turn your back on him every time a difficult situation comes? Every time things come that doesn't look like it's going to help you prosper quickly? Or are you going to stand with your Father and wait? Do the right thing until things start happening. Because it will. You don't have to be wicked to get ahead. And sometimes the enemy tries to make us believe that we have to do the wicked thing to get ahead. We have to do the wicked thing to be rich. But if you learn to wait on God and still continue to build while you're waiting, continue to build, that's when things are going to come. But you got to wait sometimes. Sometimes the waiting season is hard. Because you feel like, oh, I can get ahead if I just do this right now. But the right way is always the best way. I promise you. I've made a lot of wrong decisions, but I promise you the right way is always the best way. The righteous way is always the better way. The holy way is always the great way. Don't let nothing or no opportunity take you away from what God is doing in your life. Stand in it. Do what you need to do. Build what you need to build. But in the meantime, do the right thing while you're doing it. All right, children, hope y'all have a blessed day. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.